Hello everyone, you are watching A Peep Into Me with Trust Nyowikeh, missionary and blockchain enthusiast. A Peep Into Me is just a program that shares Trust Nyowikeh's life experiences with the aim to inspire and bring about hope. I want you to stay tuned as you watch this episode today. In 2008, yeah, precisely 2008, I had some fallout with my dad because of my condition of schooling, and as a result of that, I had to abandon school, abandon everything, and I left the village for the West region. I was there for just about 2 months. We were walking in the bush there to earn some money, and one of those days, the guys we lived with bought a motorcycle, and it was always the tradition we will want to celebrate because something great happens to one of us. And so while we were doing the celebration, they decided that they were going to buy drinks and then other things for the celebration. And those guys who were there, majority of them were smokers and people who drink a lot. So they decided that they were not going to buy any food stuff. They were going to they were going to buy alcoholic drinks like this Fighter, Leongdo, and Afofo, what we call Afofo, that alcoholic, locally manufactured alcoholic drink. And so these guys bought these drinks and then a lot of cigarettes. And that night had to do with drinking and smoking. We wanted to be a part of the occasion and feel belonging in the occasion, and that is why we joined them in the drinking and the smoking. And that night I smoked 11 sticks of cigarettes, and it didn't mean anything. It was kind of just normal. And I took, I think I drank one sachet of that whiskey called Fighter. And the next morning, we were going to the farm. I carried this cigarette along to the farm to go and continue smoking. Unfortunately, while we were on the farm, the time I felt like I had to smoke, I discovered that I didn't come to the farm alongside with match, so there was no way I could smoke. And so 2 days later, I began feeling the consequences of the cigarette I'd taken that night. And that is, my body was weak. I developed impromptu gastric, and my temperature was high, and my entire health just started degrading. And a lot of things were going on. The guys who were with us, they advised that I have to go back to the village so that I could seek medical attention. I resisted, but it came to a point where I had no choice because of how I was feeling in my body. So I had to go to the village and to sought medical attention. And while in the village, I was admitted for a week in the hospital, and the hospital actually discovered that what broke down my health was the cigarettes that I smoked that night. And then since then, I have never touched a cigarette. And later, as time went on, I began asking myself, if this is how much cigarette will break me for a night, how much effect does it have on people who smoke as a lifestyle? Or social smokers. The word social smoking I got from a friend. He says social smoking is a situation where you smoke occasionally, sometimes when you get to a nightclub, or sometimes when you get to an occasion that you just feel like smoking to belong to the group of those who are smoking, not because smoking is your habit. And I begin to wonder how this smoking occasionally does to people who take cigarettes and sometimes take hard drugs like marijuana and the rest as a lifestyle. Now, I want everyone who smokes, anybody who think of experimenting smoking, to know that smoking is very, very dangerous to your health. I may not be a medical personnel, but from my little experience, I can tell you that smoking is very dangerous. Very, very dangerous. It leads to death. I don't want to say it can lead to death. I want you to know categorically that smoking leads to death. As you take one more stick of cigarette, that is how your health is being reduced. Your time frame on earth is being reduced by every stick of cigarette you take. I used to read on cigarette packs. In those days, it was written cigarettes may be dangerous to your health. It came to a point where it's like the government actually said cigarette company have to spell it out, the consequences of smoking on cigarette packs. And that is why on cigarette packs right now, you look at it, you will see actually the body of someone who is dying because of cigarettes, and then it is clearly written on it that cigarettes can lead to your death. So I want to challenge anyone who can be smoking or who may be thinking of smoking, that smoking is very, very dangerous, and it damages your health more than any other thing you take. It damages your health even more than alcohol. I am not in effect saying that you should be taking alcohol, because to some extent it damages your health as well. But smoking is not good for anybody whatsoever. I know it gives some temporary relief when you smoke, when you're feeling uncomfortable, when you have a challenge, something that is just blocking your mind. You're looking for something to cool down. You can take cigarette. I know that's one of the reasons why people take cigarette. But my best advice to you is, if you are somebody who smokes, stop it, because it is gradually peeling or pulling life out of you, and one day it will end your life if you do not end smoking today. Hello guys, I hope you enjoyed the video you just watched. Remember, my aim here is not just to share stories about myself, but to inspire people and bring about hope. And I'm sure that you got inspired by the video you just watched. I'm inviting you to subscribe to my YouTube channel and to share this video to as many as possible, so that they can also be inspired as well. Thank you so much.